Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to talk about some rumors speculating in the report from Ian Begley out of SNY about Elfrid Payton is gaining some interest around the NBA and if he could potentially be traded, and just go over some of the news. Derrick Rose is now a New York Knick. And yeah, just make a quick video about this. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram and Twitter at nyknicks_media. With that being said, let's jump right into this video. So for those guys that did not see what Ian Begley had to say, I'll leave the link down below to the video on Twitter. Basically, he said everything that's going around about the Knicks in the offseason, expect a lot of moves to be made prior to the trade deadline, which is March 25th. There's a lot of time in between there, and apparently there's a playoff team, he did not mention which team, that is interested in Elfrid Payton, right? The biggest question after we acquired Derrick Rose via trade, who is wearing number 4, by the way, who is getting the minutes? Who's going to be taking away minutes? And Elfrid Payton, as we know, is our starting point guard. Immanuel Quickley, as we know, is our backup point guard. So bringing in a guy like Derrick Rose, who is a point guard, how is he going to fit into the rotation? There's rumors speculating that Austin Rivers will get his minutes taken away because he's not playing good at all. He's had 2 or 3 good games so far this year. Other than that, he's been very inconsistent. So you never know. Could Immanuel Quickley start playing off the ball, playing with Derrick Rose off the bench, or are they going to look to trade Elfrid Payton? So let's get into the Elfrid Payton rumors. As we know as well, Elfrid Payton has a no-trade clause, so he can veto any trade that he wants. Say the Knicks have a really good offer and they want to trade him to a team, it could be anybody. And Elfrid Payton says, you know what? No, I'd rather stay on the Knicks because I'm going to get the most minutes on here. He can veto anything. So unfortunately, the ball is in Elfrid Payton's court. So he needs to decide, do I want to be traded or not? Because we signed him to a 1-year deal last year, and then we declined his option. Then we re-signed him again this year. So that gives him a lot of leverage in this whole situation. So it's good to hear that some teams are interested in Elfrid Payton, because me personally, and I think a lot of Knicks fans can agree, we'd rather Elfrid Payton get traded away, especially acquiring Derrick Rose. We understand that Immanuel Quickley has a lot of potential to become a good point guard in this league. Nobody expected Quickley to come into the league as a 25th overall pick and lighting it up. I mean, whenever he does get the minutes, we see Immanuel Quickley doing stuff that we did not expect, and a lot of people wrote him as a 2-guard. Immanuel Quickley is a shooting guard because in Kentucky, he played off the ball. But all throughout his life, in high school, everything about Quickley, he said himself, I'm a point guard at heart, and that's what he feels more comfortable with doing. And I love Quickley running the 1. When he's handling the ball, he's running off screens, he's driving. When he has a floater, he takes it. When there's a big man open, he throws the alley-oop. He dishes it out to an open shooter. Immanuel Quickley is a very good point guard. So this is the big question. Can the Knicks find a trade where Elfrid Payton feels comfortable of going there? I don't really care who we give up. I don't really care what we get back for an Elfrid Payton trade. I really hope that we can get rid of him. I feel like he's been playing decent the past 2 games. Well, yesterday he played absolutely terrible, but the previous 2 games before that, he had 20-point games. I think that we need to trade or at least waive Elfrid Payton if we want to keep Immanuel Quickley in the lineup, because I like Derrick Rose. I think that Derrick Rose is going to come in here and provide a veteran leadership at that point guard spot. He's going to provide depth, and he's going to be a guy that Tom Thibodeau is going to lean on. He's a top Thibodeau guy. We have Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose here now. We know that Derrick Rose was here on the Knicks a couple years ago, and nothing really happened over there, but now he's playing. He played decent on Detroit off the bench. 14 points per game, 43% from the field. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, it's Derrick Rose. He's not going to be a sharpshooter. He's not going to become vintage Derrick Rose. You cannot expect that, but I personally rather have Derrick Rose have minutes than Elfrid Payton on the Knicks. I think a lot of Knicks fans can agree with that. Elfrid Payton is not a terrible basketball player. I know a lot of Knicks fans, including myself, are very harsh on Elfrid Payton. The reason why myself, at least, is not a fan of him is he kind of sometimes just ices out other players. He doesn't feed RJ Barrett the ball when he needs it. He kind of takes the ball as a point guard. He dribbles the ball. He dribbles the clock out. He's dribbling, and then he drives to the rim and puts up a floater. We need a point guard that is very unselfish, gets his teammates involved, has a very good fluidity of the offense. He also cannot shoot. I know Derrick Rose is not a shooter himself, but Derrick Rose is, in my opinion, a way better point guard right now than Elfrid Payton. I know that Derrick Rose is 32 years old and Payton is way younger, but Derrick Rose is a veteran that can prove that he understands the game of basketball and, most importantly, understands the system in place for Tom Thibodeau. What I think is going to happen right now with this Tom Thibodeau system is he wants to bring in his guys where it worked with Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose in Chicago. He wants people to come into this Knicks team and say, okay, this is what Tom Thibodeau wants. Derrick Rose is now going to preach to all the guards the Tom Thibodeau system. That's why he brought in Taj Gibson as well. Taj Gibson came in and he's going to tell everybody what worked, what didn't work, because they both have so much experience under Tom Thibodeau. They played with him in Chicago and they both played with him in Minnesota. So Tom Thibodeau is trying to get his guys in here and instill the culture within the organization that Tom Thibodeau is trying to brew. He's trying to get an identity of defensive-minded team and a team that is continuity with offense, passes the ball, everything. We need people to come in and really preach Tom Thibodeau's system, and I feel like the Knicks are winning now. We're 6 or 7 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they're realizing, wow, we have a potential to actually make the playoffs and make a push. Well, you never know. Let's get a guy in Derrick Rose who understands the system. We understand everything about Derrick Rose because Tom Thibodeau made him an MVP. Will Derrick Rose become an MVP on the Knicks? No. But I feel like there's going to be some games where Derrick Rose lights it up because Tom Thibodeau is going to give him a lot of minutes. He's going to give him opportunities. So will Elfrid Payton get traded? I don't know, but there is a rumor out there that Ian Begley reported that teams are interested in Elfrid Payton. So this is definitely something to talk about. I hope that Payton gets traded for the sake of Immanuel Quickley getting minutes, because we do not want to see Payton take away minutes from Quickley anymore. Now that Rose is coming back, we don't know what's going on with Immanuel Quickley. And I personally rather Immanuel Quickley stick to staying as the point guard off the bench or starting. We do not want to see Quickley move to the 2 for the rest of the season. I think that it's okay if he's versatile and some games he plays a 1, some games he plays a 2, because that's what's so unique about Immanuel Quickley, that he's a combo guard. He can do both. He's not just a point guard. He's not just a shooting guard. He can do both. So that's awesome that we have that. Maybe Derrick Rose running the 1 and Immanuel Quickley running the 2 is something that can be really fun to watch. You never know. So leave a comment down below what you guys expect from this offseason. It's not the offseason. What am I saying? What you expect leading up to the trade deadline. I think there's a lot of moves to be made. I feel like the Knicks are going to be trading for players, trading away players. You never know what's going to happen. And March 25th, is the trade deadline. Will Elfrid Payton be traded? I sure hope so. But let me know in the comment section what you guys expect. And that does it for this video. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Let's go Knicks. Peace out.